Welcome to Poetry Changes Lives, my book of poetry, history and a thought for the day. Here it is. Every day of the year I sit here and read a poem, a little thought for the day, and a historical incident that's linked to it as well. And do you know, I really enjoy it because reading a poem a day seems to put me in a good frame of mind, and that's all I look for these days, a bit of peace of mind and quiet. And poetry is such a good tonic, I find, and I really recommend it to you. I hope you enjoy these poems as well. PoetryChangesLives.com, of course, is the website where you can read all about it. You can buy this book here as well, if you wish. Let me demonstrate what's in the book. On this day, in 1840, the French writer, very great writer, Émile Zola, was born. He was born in Provence. He was a friend of Cézanne, actually, from boyhood, and they both travelled to Paris as young men to seek their fortunes. And I have to say, both of them very much made their fortune and became famous. What a wonderful way, a wonderful life they both had. Zola's great moment of glory, of course, came during the Dreyfus Affair, which was basically an anti-Semitic campaign by the French government, which Dreyfus highlighted in his famous article in the French publication L'Aurore, when he, which headlined it, "J'accuse," I accuse, and he, of course, was accusing the French establishment of blatant anti-Semitism, which was correct. As a result, he was much persecuted, had to flee France for a while, and in fact fled to England until he could return, having been granted a pardon. He and his wife, Alexandrine, then lived on in Paris, and it's strange and interesting that they both, in fact, died in their 60s in their house of asphyxiation, carbon monoxide poisoning due to a faulty chimney. It was a tragic end, really. But what was so strange was that many years later, a chimney sweep confessed to having blocked the chimney for political reasons, as a way of somehow getting back at the Zolas for that famous J'accuse moment. Gosh, we shall never know. It's never been proved. Well, today I'm going to read a poem by one of Zola's contemporaries, another great writer, Stéphane Mallarmé, who was a wonderful poet, not so well known in this country, but very famous in France. This poem is in translation. It's called My Books. Mallarmé was a great one for looking at everyday objects and indulging in flights of fantasy, comparing them to the ancient world of the Greeks and Romans and that sort of thing, and going off really into a sort of fantasy land. It's very beautiful, I think. I love this poem. See what you think of this. My Books by Stéphane Mallarmé. My books closed again on Paphos's name. It delights me to choose with solitary genius a ruin, by foam flecks in thousand blessed, beneath hyacinth, far off, in days of fame. Let the cold flow with its silence of sighs. I'll not ululate here in a no that's empty if this frolic so white near the ground denies to each sight the honour of false scenery. My hunger regaled by no fruits here, I see, finds equal taste in their learned deficiency. Let one burst with human fragrance and flesh, while my love pokes the fire, foot on cold iron, I brood for a long time, perhaps with distress, on the other's seared breast of an ancient Amazon. Gosh, I could just see him sitting by his fire, dreaming about ancient Greece and Amazons and that sort of thing. Stéphane Mallarmé, a 19th century French poet. Today I will remember that actions have consequences, but that inaction has consequences too. And I ask for the wisdom that I shall make the right choices today. Thanks for listening.